What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about collections in Adobe Lightroom. And if you haven't heard of a collection, that's okay. They're a really powerful tool in Lightroom to help us organize our photographs. Most of us have heard of folders. Folders are the actual containers for our photographs. We put our images into folders, we organize them that way. That's like their home. That's where they live on your hard drive. The problem with folders, though, is one picture can't live in multiple folders. So as an example, if you had an image that was one of your favorite photos, you might want it to live in a folder dated with the date that you took it, but you also might want it to live in a folder that's called like My Favorite Photographs. And with folders, you're not able to do that. With collections, you are. So what a collection is it's actually like a saved grouping of images. You could think of it like a playlist of music, right? If you make a music playlist, that playlist doesn't have songs from the same artist, the same album. It has songs from a lot of different places in the same location. And the same is true with collections. It's a way to just group things up. So as an example here, what I could do is I have all my folders of images over here on the left, but what I could do is come down to the Collections panel in Lightroom, hit the plus sign, and go to Create Collection. And I'm just going to make a simple one called My Favorite Images. And I'm going to leave all these checkboxes off and just hit Create. And what it does here is it makes me a little grouping down here called My Favorite Images down here in the lower left. And what I can do is I can go through my folders of pictures and be like, oh, here's a cool photo. I'm going to grab that one, and I'm going to drag and drop it into the collection. And here's another one that maybe I like. I'm just going quickly, obviously. None of these are really truly my favorites, but I could drag this one in, drag a few different photos in there. And then I could go to a different folder. I could go to this folder over here. Then I could drag a few images in there from this folder. So you can kind of go folder to folder. You could go through all of the years of images that you've shot and throw different images into that collection, which is pretty cool. You can just kind of pull them in there. Now, a couple quick things. Number one, when we do that, we're not actually moving anything on the hard drive. The images still live in their folder on your external or internal hard drive. All you're doing is you're telling Lightroom, hey Lightroom, when I click on this collection, let's go ahead and do that. We'll click the My Favorite Images collection, boop. Bring up these specific photos from wherever they live. So you can see if you want to have a portfolio collection, super sweet way to do it, because you can just click on it and it queries and pulls all those images from all those different places and shows them to you right there, which is really cool. Now let's step this up a little bit. Let's say that we don't want to have to drag and drop each time. Maybe we want an even quicker way to add images into that collection. What we can do is actually set it as what's called the target collection. And the way we do that is we right-click on it and we go to Set as Target Collection. And what's going to happen is the collection's going to get a little plus sign on the end of it. And what that means is now when we're going through our photos, if we find one we like, instead of having to drag and drop it over there, we can actually just select it. Let's go ahead and grab, say, this photo, and hit the letter B as in bullseye, B for bullseye on the keyboard, and it will add it to that collection for you. You hit B again, and it removes it. So if you accidentally push it, you can just push it again. So add or remove. And that means you can go through your photos just bam, bam, bam. You could even be in full screen mode, cruising through. And anytime you find one you like, hit the letter B, and it sends it into that collection for you. Now, one quick thing I want to mention is that that collection, that target collection, you can only have one collection set as the target at a time. So you can't hit B and have it go multiple places. In fact, when you want to not make that the target anymore, you can just right-click and uncheck Set as Target Collection, or you could set another collection as the target instead. So you have that ability to do that very easily with target collections. So we have normal collections. We can take those normal collections and make them target collections where we can hit the letter B and put photos into it or remove photos out of it. Also, to get images out of a collection, you can go to the collection, click on the photo, and hit the delete key on the keyboard. Because you're in the collection, by hitting delete, you're not actually deleting it off of the computer. You're just removing it from that collection, which is pretty sweet. You can just delete, delete, and it just removes it from that little saved grouping. So those are normal collections. The next thing I want to talk about are collection sets, and that's actually a way that we can organize our collections. You got to think of a collection set as like a container for your individual collections. Then all we have to do to make one of those is come down to the plus sign. We're going to go to Create Collection Set, and we're going to call this, say, Set of Collections. And what it's going to do is it's going to make us a new little box right here, and I can take the My Favorite Images collection and put it inside of that collection set. And that just nests it. It lets me kind of expand that little grouping or close it up. And that's really nice. You guys can see here I have my collections collection set. And inside of that, I have a lot of different collections for edit examples, for different classes that I teach. And inside of that, there are collections. So you can break these up kind of however you want to. Collection sets are just a grouping of collections. Collections are a grouping of images. So together, they all come together to really help you organize stuff. The final thing I want to talk about are smart collections. That's really the third piece here. And to make a smart collection, I'm going to go click on the plus sign, and I'm going to go to Create Smart Collection. So what a smart collection is it's a collection that is automatic. Instead of dragging images into it or using the letter B on the target collection, you're actually going to set up a set of parameters for that collection, and any images that meet those parameters are going to go in there automatically. So as an example, for me, I use color labels in Lightroom, and to me, the green color label is for images that I really like. Like those are my favorite photographs. So I could make a smart collection that says, hey Lightroom, all of the images that have a green color label, meaning my favorite images, put them inside of this smart collection for me. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to call this smart collection, say, my favorite edited images. And I'm not going to put it inside of a collection set. Notice you can do that right there. You can have it from creation be put inside of a set. I'm going to come down here. We're going to say label color is green, because green is the color that I use for that. Now you'll also notice that I said my favorite edited images. Well, my favorite is green. Edited is another layer of kind of testing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the plus sign over here on the right-hand side of label color, and we're going to click on that, and I'm going to go to Develop Has Adjustments. So this is actually reading the metadata of the file and seeing that we've done adjustments to this image in Lightroom. You could also do Has Edits, Is Proof, Is Develop Preset, all the different kind of stages of editing in Lightroom. You can adjust and kind of sort by those things. So I'm going to go Has Adjustments, Is True, and I'm going to hit Create. And what this is going to do is this is going to look through all of my photographs. And any images that have a green color label and also have been edited in Lightroom are going to show up. And you can see here they are. Here's my set of images that meet those criteria, which is pretty cool. I didn't add any of these manually. Literally, Lightroom just searched through my entire catalog. Anything with adjustments that also has a green color label thrown in there automatically. Now, people always ask, well, Forrest, how do I get more photos into that collection? All you've got to do is do the things to the images that meet that criteria. Meaning if I found an image in my catalog that's not in this smart collection, and I gave it a green label, and I edited it in the develop module, it would be automatically added in here. To the contrary, if I took one of these photos, let's say this one, and I got rid of the green color label, so let me hit 8 on the keyboard to remove the green label, that image disappears because it no longer meets the requirements of the smart collection. So collections are a normal, just plain old manual grouping of images. Smart collections are an automatic grouping of images based on some sort of criteria, and collection sets are a way to organize those different collections into subgroups. Together, those three things, if you can't keep your images organized with those tools, you should probably rethink how you're organizing your images, because there's some really good tools there to really keep everything organized and help your images really be able to be found very, very quickly. So hopefully you liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. If you have a question on how this all works, or maybe you have your own way of organizing things, drop that down in the comment section down below, and then hit subscribe up there or down there in the corner to stay up to date with future videos. Lastly, special thanks to Canon. They provided the cameras that we're shooting this content on so that you guys can see it and in all of this beautiful high definition glory. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one.